Imagine waiting by the phone for that important phone call. Finally, it rings. You answer it. You knew that the organ donation would give you that longer to live. This is the moment, or so you thought. But it turned out that someone else on the list received the organ. Here's a picture of my grandpa and me and my grandma. This is while my grandpa was waiting for his organ donation. We did a lot of things together. He read me bedtime stories, danced, fished, and had a lot of inside jokes. While he was waiting for his organ, he was on a strict diet of no salt, couldn't even eat ice cream. And one of our jokes were, protein. Because while we were eating eggs, he liked the yellow part, and I liked the white part, and it was funny. Every year he would tell the same joke over again. I haven't seen you since last year, was his favorite joke to say on New Year's Day. From my grandpa, who was in his 60s, to young adults and even children, there are many people in need of organs. A young man in my community recently needed an organ transplant. His name is Jeremy. Jeremy loves to collect basketballs. Recently, he received a kidney from a living donor, his pastor. Organ donations save the lives of people of all ages. After my grandpa received his organ, he was much better. He looked better, had more energy, and it really helped him a lot. He passed away several years ago. When he passed away, he was also an organ donor. I have known the process of giving and receiving organs for several years now. In this speech, I will be going over how important it is to saving lives, why someone might not want to be an organ donor, and how giving and receiving organs work. You may be wondering, why would I need to be an organ donor? Maybe they would not want my organs? Here are some of the most common misunderstandings explained. According to organdonor.gov, organs are matched by blood type, how badly someone needs them, time waiting on the list, and your area. Organdonor.gov states that if someone has a medical condition, there is still a big possibility that you could still donate. Other organs and tissues could also be donated. Let's get to the point of why we need organ donors. Many people are in need of organ transplants. Did you know that over 120,000 Americans are still waiting on an organ donation? Sure, there are some people, like my grandpa, who can live without the organ they need, but for how long? And they wonder how much better their quality of life would be if only they had that organ transplant. My grandpa had to be on dialysis every day. He was a farmer, and he had to stay inside a lot. Now, I think we all know that by now, how it feels to have to stay at home. It was really hard for him to have to stay inside, and he missed out on some important things. Mayo Clinic states that about 20 people die a day because they don't get the organ transplant that they needed to save their lives. According to healthmissouri.gov, currently 1,291 people in the state of Missouri are still waiting for an organ match. Not only do organ transplants save the lives of people needing them, it is also a big deal to relatives and family members. Think about how much different your life would be without just one family member. Imagine if you needed an organ. You would have to stay at home, and you would have to stay inside a lot. A webpage that I found helpful was titled 6 Reasons Not to be an Organ Donor. This states that most people who are reluctant to donate are either they don't trust doctors or they worry if they are really dead. In fact, medical professionals go the extra mile to ensure that you have the best health care possible, and they will make sure that you are actually dead before they remove your organs. I know that death is hard to talk about, but here are some ways that organ donations can really benefit people. Here's the process of donating and receiving organs. Organdonor.gov states that anyone who is 18 years and older can be an organ donor. In Missouri and most other states, you are allowed to sign up to be an organ donor with your parents' permission. You can also choose which organs you decide to donate, and you can always change your mind. Here is my driver's license, not the best picture, but here on the back it says that I hereby make an animal gift upon my death, and you can either say any organ or a specific one. Of course, sign your name, date, witnesses, address, city, all that. And so you can also go to Organ Tissue Donor Program and Registry from the Missouri Department of Health and Senior Services. You can also go there to sign up as an organ donor. Loss is very hard. Having your relatives be an organ donor also provides comfort. It is free to be an organ donor. Some questions some people might ask are, can I still have an open casket funeral? The answer is yes. No one will even be able to tell. My grandpa had one. There can be a lot of problems solved with having organ donations. Healing takes time, but it is so worth it. If you have time today, sign up to be an organ donor. I just finished. Don't wait. If you wait too long, the next person on the list might have to wait even longer. Again, here's my experience with giving and receiving organ donations. When I was first asked about being an organ donor, I was taking my driver's test. At first I was hesitant. Sadly, the person who donated his organ to my grandpa died in a car wreck. He chose to help someone he didn't even know. He made a difference in my grandpa's life and mine. One donation can save up to 8 lives and help up to 50 people. Here are some of my helpful resources that helped me write this speech. Mayo Clinic, don't let these myths confuse you. Organdonation.com, 6 reasons not to be an organ donor. Organ donation facts, organdonor.gov, U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. Organ Tissue Donor Program and Registry, Missouri Department of Health and Senior Services. 5 benefits of organ donations from Florida Today. I just signed up on the back of my driver's license, and you can too. Would you give up something that you don't need to help someone who does?